Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel. My name is Chaza, right here on the program called My Point of View. And this program is designed for you to actually add your voices to the stories of the week or headlines of the week right here on Ubuntu channel. And just to help me, undertake this program, I do have Mr. Mukelebai right here. Mr. Mukelebai, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza, and good evening, viewers.
All right, I can also see the only lady, Himba Malambo. Good evening and welcome to the program. It appears, she's struggling with.
And good evening, viewers.
Okay, I was seeing you unmuting. It's good to have you this evening right on the program. And not forgetting Lance Sani Banda. Lance, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Chaza. Good evening, Womu Kerebai. Good evening to Himba. Hopefully, I'm heard clearly.
Yes, you are loud and clear, and it's good to have you right here.
Good evening, Lance. Long time, Sunny.
It appears you didn't hear that. Lance Bomkeba is saying good evening, and it's been a long time. Maybe he's having the connectivity problem there. Yeah. I think we are going to have, two stories that, whose, videos we do not have, but we are going to talk about them because they are a part of, this week. All right, and connectivity, had thrown me out. So the first story that we are going to look at is a story concerning, ZAMSA, where, hospital, equipment and medicines have been stolen. I'll invite Himba to, come first and get to react to that story because, she has even more details than myself. Himba.
Chaza, I don't even have more details, but nevertheless, it's something. It's a story of which is of public interest. By the way, before I go any further, may I just also take this opportunity to recognize, our viewers. When I was given the opportunity, I could not say hi to their viewers. I could not greet them, but let me take this opportunity to greet our viewers and also thank you so much for allowing me to add my voice on these important issues that are affecting our nation. Which has an issue of ZAMSA. I think for me, this is a straightforward issue. This is a straightforward issue for me, Chaza, and it's really sad that things they've gone this way. But I'm going to speak from a layman's person because we don't have the facts. We are just talking from hearsay things. My opinion is, one, kwetachoka kumbuyo kuchaza kwenze bantu benzosoberesa ndrama chenzolila. They had money at their disposal. They could play, they could come on social media. We saw it. It's not something, we are not speculating. These are facts which happened. They would buy expensive cars. They would spoil their slay queens the way they wanted. But at the moment, those things are not happening. I'm sure Abale, Afwasa, Tuma Spring, don't say. So these people, they'll still look for money. They'll still want to have money. So for me, this could be the people who are also going into government institutions, because apparently I'm reliably informed that it's not only at ZAMSA, but other health institutions. My equipments, So there are many reasons that could cause such. As I've said, continue, and on that point, I would also appeal to the government to find a quick solution for these my young people, youths, who are not in institutions, you know. Bakuti in my street, bampezika on the street. In the past, these are the people when zopitako ku ZNS, vaindo chitako vo chita. So the government should also find a way of empowering these, because avo vakambia ati ma CDF siyazasebenza ma CDF. Simungatenge muntu wakuti mwamutenga chatibwera uchite business mwamupatikiza sizasebenza. So let the government come up with a way of keeping these people busy on the street so that ichefyeko vakawalala. Secondly, this can also go back to our previous regime. Cool information, we know how issue ya kuzamsa ili hot. We all know. Probably they are going there to destroy evidence. Probably they are going there just to go and cause more confusion. And also that their narrative, it can come to reality. And the other reason could also be, we've got a lot of private hospitals. Some are private hospitals. They are also benefiting from all these things. But nevertheless, I feel some of the equipment, they've got the serial numbers. Can they find? I think they could be found. When they bring in this equipment, they've got an inventory. So let's check. Let them follow up on these issues. So these are government properties that should be looked after. Above all, the government in power now, they should look into this issue seriously, because we know there's a lot of donations that come, a lot of support from even Western world, and people are interested. And even now, it's a hot piece of cake as we are talking. My issues kuzamsa, and may the government get to the bottom of this and get the culprit to book. I submit, Chaz.
All right, Himba, thank you so much. We do appreciate, your reaction to that, story. Wamukelebai, what's your take about, this story?
It's quite. Thank you very much, Chaza, once more, and thank you so much, viewers, for participating with our program. It's important that we comment on issues pertaining to our national development. What's going on back home. And what you have to understand is that sometimes we do not have all the full details. So we may just react on what we have read so far through the social media and the information from the government institutions, that is from Zambia, from the Ministry of Information. But we are not very privy to the facts of the matter. But we heard that there was some theft that took place in one of the warehouse. The first information was somehow misleading, and they claimed that the Zamsa warehouse was broken into. And then there was a second circular again that went around to challenge the first allegations that it was not at the warehouse, where the Zamsa warehouse, but it was at a different location, a different warehouse where those items were stolen from. But there has been so many questions and a little bit of speculations and a little bit misinformation, because there's nothing straight that is coming forward from the institution itself, because we hear two challenging, two different stories, and they're coming from one institution. They come up with two different issues. The other person, who is the so-called boss or director, reports that the warehouse was broken into, and the other one comes to say, no, it was not actually the actual warehouse. It was from a different warehouse where they had the temporarily secured these items. But the question is, were they secured? So my worry is already there's a lot that is going on in this institution. One is the performance of the members that are there, those who are given authority to run the welfare of the institution. We see that there's a lot of incompetence, and there's a lot of indifferent. They are not caring. There's this I don't care attitude that whatever happens, it's okay, because this is not the first time the very institution is reporting the missing of expensive equipments. They are claiming that this is the second time now, the first one. Now the question is, what happened to the first incident? Have they recovered? And if they were beaten once, they should be shy by now. They should have put some measures to avoid history repeating itself. So that's why you find that now people start speculating to say, could this be an outsider who has no clue of what is happening in the institution, or could this be an inside job, that there's someone who's trying to simply sabotage or destroy, or just to paint a wrong picture of this institution so that their colleagues can be given a bad picture? So there are so many issues. However, the government should do either. We know we always go to the government to say should step in when we have people that are supposed to really act professionally. They could have actually secured this warehouse by installation of surveillance cameras, or employing security guards, because these are equipments that cost millions, the Zambian taxpayers' money. Why should we keep on falling into the same ditch every year or every time we are the victims? Meanwhile, when our own homes are attacked once or twice, you see how we rush to secure our homes. And the police, how far have they gone with investigations? Of course, they cannot tell us, but we want to know what happened to the first case. We didn't even know, some of us, we had no clue that there was even theft that took place the first time. So ZAMSA, what I can only tell you is that you cannot fool the Zambian people. Fool me once, shame on what? Is it shame on me? And fool me twice, shame on you. So we know we know what is happening there. And we would rather call the authority to come in and either discipline you so that you could pull up your socks. You don't have to expect the president to come and tell you how to erect to put up tighten security measures. No, that's why we are paying you. So anyway, I can't say much. I can only say that these guys should just pull up their socks and make and secure those items. So the government should now come in and punish those who were in charge. They should pay back or buy using their own pay. That's when people will start running around or threatening with dismissals.
So if the place is not guarded,
you can imagine. So that's why Tureshta speculated, Limbi, this could be the inside job, because Abama guys are they are educated people, and the baby la first time tapali of bachitire buy expensive equipment, and instead of distributing those equipments to the rightful institutions, they keep them. And now they've stolen. Limbi Bufi. They're just lying, trying to cover up some conspiracies. So this is our money, Zambian taxpayers' money, that needs to be protected. So those people in charge should pay, because they were negligent, and they should be made to pay, cut their salaries for 1 year, 2 years to recover the money, the properties that were stolen in their custody. That's what I can say.
All right, Wom Kerebai, thank you so much. We do appreciate. And for Lance, I can see he's having a challenge in terms of connectivity. Lance, it's good to have you back. You keep on falling off. I must believe that he didn't know that he was back on set. All right, we get to the next story.
We apologize to our viewers for that.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We sincerely do apologize. Our friends.
These are small errors that we make, and I don't think he did it intentionally. You could see that he thought it's technical. It's the very technical problems.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially
But we apologize for that.
He keeps on falling out. So obviously in his mind, he knew that he was not online.
Yeah.
Let's proceed to the next story. The next story that we do have is, news out there that the mealie meal that is being sold by ZNS, Zambia National Service, is procured by some people who are, subsequently going out there to sell the same mealie meal at a higher price, making profits. They get it at 150 kwacha, sell at 240, 250 kwacha, especially around the border towns. Your reaction, Himba, to this, news?
Personally, I'm very disappointed, Chaza. Very disappointed. If we, the Zambian people, we have decided to go this route. Much do we understand that people want to find means of making money, but this is the issue that has been hitting our country badly. Many times the government was in hot fire over this mealie meal, or the government is still in hot fire over this mealie meal. But then the able leaders under our president Hakainde Hichilema, they've found a solution to question whatever challenges the Zambian people are going through. But we, the citizen, we start getting the same mealie meal to go and sell kukasumbalesa kuma borderlines. I think for me, it's very disappointing on the side of the citizen. We have to be responsible. Above all, as citizens, we are major stakeholders when it comes to the issues of development in our country. This is really sad. Bantu benzolila babwela apa tenzo batamba tenzo bamvera mumakompound ndawe unga wadula. Right now, even when the country has not even benefited from that mealie meal countrywide, just in few parts of the country, citizens are behaving in such a way. Secondly, I would appeal to the government that ububunga balembepo if yakulemba, not for resale, not for and they should put strict measures. Whoever is found selling this mealie meal, they should pay. They should be brought to book, because this is a questioning, or this is I don't know, how can I call it? It's an initiative which the government chimo chinati bawiso munganda walelile nsapato ati nsapato nashitulika nsapato bawiso bakushitire nsapato ati ubomfye ko mwana wa oponshira kwanisho ukukushitira elo twale twale fwala batatafi elo nshira kwanisho ukushitira batatafi fwala kwe ya ukamwala ila ine ya ukamwala bakushitira, you get that shoe waya pelo munobe olo waya. Actually, it's not giving. You go and to your friend, are you grateful to your parents? Then you come back like Boma, but daddy is not taking care of my father. My father is irresponsible. What are you up to? I think the Zambian people, we have to be responsible towards our nation and our personal lives. The government should come up with strict measures to punish the culprits. We don't want this mealie meal to go out of Zambia. It's for the Zambian people. Full stop. I submit, Chaz.
Thank you, Himba. We do appreciate. Wom Keleba, your take on the issue of mealie meal.
You see, I don't know. I kind of have a different view, even though we know we actually have to look at the people that are implementing the laws, or rather the authorities. What measures have they put when they decided to reduce the prices? You know, that was everyone obligated? Is every person in Zambia obligated to reduce the price at their own, by their request as a
No,
government? And
Mom
if you don't, sorry.
Kelebai, just to come in, sweetheart, on that, what has happened? There's the government, because I mean now in Zambia, people have to, like mamilas, they come up with their own pricing of milli meal. The government literally has no much say on that. Am I right, Chaza?
Exactly.
So now the
Yes.
government, they've decided to go the ZNS way, to pump in the ZNS and to start kugaya unga, so that the government can have control over that milli meal which is being produced by the government. That's what they do. So we know to question the situation in the country. It's the same milli meal which the Zambian people are getting now to go and resell, because that one is cheaper. So
Yeah, my point was, for someone to go and resell the same milli meal from ZNS, does that constitute a crime in a liberalized economy? Does that constitute is it a crime? And if it's a crime, what law
I think
can
it's
we
not.
use?
I think it's not a crime, and
So it is just a moral issue
yeah.
that people should just become conscious to say there's a shortage of milli meal. Therefore, when the government has decided to reduce or to mitigate the price and reduce the prices of milli meal by putting this measure, the community or the people, the citizen, should also be responsible or act responsibly to make sure that the prices that people have been crying for, that they were high, should be at a reasonable price. Otherwise, ndemona kwati nayashita obunga nashita 10 bags ero namfa tukasumbalesa. They are selling ubunga bulya bwine nashita ine. They are selling them at 200 or 300. Could that be, I mean, and you know, people need money. So we don't have, the government has no much say unless we deliberately come up with a policy.
Exactly, that one.
Or directive, or a directive. Because sometimes the president think about directive, you know, that directive can be construed as a law, and it can actually be implemented. So nobody, if you find somebody selling milli meal price at this price, please get hold of those people and let them be brought to the authority, then we'll deal with them. Now the question is, what crime, what law are they going to use to punish them? Disregarding directives?
Yes, I strongly here we are looking at our country. We are not. I also, I mean, maybe try to differ with you a little bit. Here is a country where right? Yes, the government has no much out, but my message, or what I'm trying to advocate for here, there should be strict measures, like army. You know, army supply supply beans. There's a policy. I don't know whether it's a law or a policy that those should not be for sale, just like duty-free beer. When you go, they don't resell. It's written duty-free, not for resale. So I think even for the citizen that could work until we are not, personally, I'm not disagreeing selling beer, selling Millimil to them, but let our people have enough first. That's when we can think of allowing us.
Himba, you have gone on mute.
Anyway, I really do understand your point, my dear Himba. It is true. People should take responsibility, especially when we know that we have scarce millimil and we have the prices, they have gone high, and the government, we are the same people that cried, that we were crying, even pointing fingers at the government. You lied to us. Mwaletubepa ubunga nomba twamba okushita pa 200. Government mwamona n'okumona babika measures. Babika measures kutera ati bachite bachite sort out problem eri. And that then suddenly twamona if we ne babalishita complain if we balelila twamba okushita amabunga in bulks n'okubika mu mamotoka mu trucks kutwala kwisa kuma borders mukuyashita resell. So number question is, are we being honest when we complain to the government to say ubunga na budula? People were even planning to riot because bambi bale tuka government kutati bale tubepafi lelo bami pela on price bayiwesha panshi. Then futi mwambo kushita ubunga buli abwine futi mwaya mukushitisha futi. So meaning even ubunga erialo bwalipa 200 and whatever, that was just a fake cry. Mwalefa kupangira pofe profit. So it is up to us Mazambians to say nga twamona omuntu leshitisha ubunga mu Zambia at a very higher price than a regulated one. Then even for Mazambian to feel to act, either go and lock that shop, katwishinga twalikwatana makayaria, approach that person, find out why are you selling this when the government olomwasango omuntu uyo kushita ubunga 230 when the millimil price is 170. You can simply tell those people, no, you are not allowed to do this. You can even shun that person. You don't go and buy. Why should you go buy? So it is your prerogative also as human beings to decide. You go to the cheapest and buy what is cheap. But if you choose to go and buy something expensive and then you come and cry to say the government has not done anything, then you are being hypocritical and you are not being fair to yourself. Somehow we will start now blaming Katwishi. Maybe it could be our number politicians, our opposition, because they don't want anything good that is happening in the new current government. They want to make sure that every effort that this government is doing, they want to challenge it and bring it down so that they start telling people to say they are sabotaging the government's effort. So but but it won't work. On top of that, we have laws that governs us. If someone decides to sell millimil at 1,000 na prestige twate mu Zambia, mulesanga bachinondoko baleya kushita ubunga wa 1,000. Elo bali ati bachula bali mukushita ubunga. What can the government do? To go and close that institution? It's the liberalized economy. So, but we just need to be honest to ourselves. Natote.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mukeleba. And I think I would also agree with, Himba. The first thing that we need to know or identify is the intention of the government. What could have been the intention of the government to bring about, provision of millimil through Zambia National Service? That is actually to, remedy the millimil, crisis that we've had in the country. And like she has submitted that, duty-free, goods or beverages are not supposed to be resold And this, if it can be extended to the mealie meal, it can even be better. Just like Wom Kelebai indicated, if it's not law, if it's not policy, then people are free to do what they're doing, which is only morally wrong. But if we have police guidance, we have legal guidance, then this issue will not be an issue at all. For now, let's get to the next story by viewing a video that we do have. Then on the other side, we get to react. I must believe by then Himba would have come back, and if so, should be the first one to react to the video that we are yet to view. Let's proceed.
Vendors along Lumumba Road do pay. I'll engage my council and ascertain whether all the vendors there are paying. But if the council is actually collecting levies from vendors, then it's not correct. They must refrain from doing that because they are not authorized traders. You cannot go and collect money from a person you are not allowing to operate from a place, which means you are promoting an illegality. So if that is what my councils are doing, I must apologize. I would have to sit down with my councils to see to it that they stop to do this, because the council are only supposed to collect levies from people who are properly identified and people who are designated. So my appeal once again to my brother is that let us begin to look for options. Let us begin to look for trading places. Let us go into the markets. Let us go into shops. There are a number of trading places that are available.
All right, we seem to be back. Wom Kelebai, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Charles, are you able to get us? Okay, I'm sure you saw the story. Are you able to react over
No,
the video?
the story wasn't on the screen. I don't know. I couldn't see anything.
Emmanuel, we are still live.
Yes.
Vendors along Lumumba Road do pay. I'll engage my council and ascertain whether all the vendors there are paying. But if the council is actually collecting levies from vendors, then it's not correct. They must refrain from doing that because they are not authorized traders. You cannot go and collect money from a person you are not allowing to operate from a place, which means you are promoting an illegality. So if that is what my councils are doing, I must apologize. I would have to sit down with my councils to see to it that they stop to do this, because the council are only supposed to collect levies from people who are properly identified and people who are designated. So my appeal once again to my brother is that let us begin to look for options. Let us begin to look for trading places. Let us go into the markets. Let us go into shops. There are a number of trading places that are available.
Thank you so much, viewers, and sorry for that interruption. I think we had a technical problem. Over to you, Chaza.
Thank you so much, Himba. We do appreciate, and just like I said, that you'd be the first one to react, to the story. Himba, back to you. What's your reaction concerning this issue?
Thank you so much, Chaza. And as I said, our viewers, we deeply apologize for that interruption. As I said, it was a technical problem. We had no control over it. But however, we continue with our program. Reacting to the story, I would, in vakanso vanidabwisa, especially vamulusaka. Vakanso vamulusaka, I think even tunivoluva nako pang'ono. Vakanso, varoko authority vamulusaka, because in the first place, vatamangilo endotenga ndrama kuvantu ve who are illegally operating in those places. So mwendo poka ndrama kuri muntu we asebenzisa malo ye mumulesa, aren't you simply telling that person that you can continue tizambo bwela? You are literally legalizing that trading place that person is trading from. Lelo mwendo mpoka ndrama olokuseni mwapoka ndrama my evenings mwendo mupisha pa same place. So what are you doing? You are simply contradicting yourselves. Secondly, Lusaka at the moment, it needs a lot of care, especially when you talk about garbage. There's a lot of garbage around. So Vatamangilo tenga drama. Why is Vatamangilo? Vatamangilo tenga drama. My bus stations, have they done what is needful in the bus stations? It has been long overdue. We want to hear the citizen coming out now saying, oh, Lusaka City Council, vabalansa, vintu vichitika. Lusaka City Council, uku vintu vichitika. Vantu vakali complain apa ma drainage system. But Lusaka Council, vakalibe kubwela apo kukamba apa bamea ba Lusaka. Tikaribu vamvera apo kuchita ata any word. Ine personal nkaribu vamvera apo. Maybe mwewe nangu muna vamvera apo. Bamea ba Lusaka. But kungangala nkani ya ndrama, ndiye peti vyatu wakanzo vamea timifunani. Elo na vantu vatamangisa mamotoka Lusaka muja, ma road mapping, they are not even there. Have you engaged the other stakeholders to take care of all those things in the communities? Mutamangira poka ndrama, kuma illegal sellers, ndiye mutamangira. So nishimukamba chani. Are you trying to tell us you are a right person to hold that office? Hell no. It's like you don't understand. And we want you to hear. Tinaona ba VP waenda pa street kwendo kiri. Ba mayor sina vamvereko. Honestly, does it has to take the entire VP, the vice president of the country, to go and do that job? Who is supposed to do it first? It doesn't even need the minister. Ma councillors valikuti. Ba mayor valikuti. What are they doing? Timvera cheba mayor na minister. Timvera cheba VP, senior person, even the PS. Ndiye timvera bashitari. Ba mayor tibamvere kona beve. Tikabaoneko. Ma mayors wa ma councils, we want to see you work. You are the local authorities. You are the one who've got first-hand information on the ground. Before even the PS, the minister, the VP comes in, the president comes in, you are the first contact person on the ground. My mayors mulikuti. In all the councils, where are you? Timi funani mwambo sevenza mwavala maningi makoti ayo. Yasevenza chani makoti. Niyo vala che mukaenda ma council chambers. No, we want to see you work. Come out. It's high time you have to come out of those shells and you do your job. We didn't employ you to be just chairing those council meetings you're chairing. The councillors, you're not just voted. Kwendo ona landa tukubagulisa landi mabwela lubiro. Awe sindife ni PF. That's not what we voted you for. We voted you to improve the lives of Zambian people on the ground because you're the first contact. We look into the interest of the people. Chaza, I submit.
Thank you, Himba. We do appreciate Mr. Mukeleba. We have a story here, which is likened to collecting tax from drug dealing, just like Himba had indicated in a different way. What's your reaction to that?
It's quite sad. I like Himba put it to say there's so much reluctancy, and in our local authorities, we see the problems that are being that the local authorities are facing or the communities are facing. And these are small little things that the guys on the ground could just come in and fix. Yet we have engineers, we have health inspectors, we have all those people that we are paying a lot of money and they are well qualified. But then you find that we still have to face these problems, and we want to appeal to the central government to come in and fix just a little bit, small little things that are affecting us that we can manage on our own as local people, from the councillors to the mayors, town clerks, to it's just a disaster. There's no takwava. We have lost that touch, the love for our country. There's always this I don't care type of attitude in almost every civil servant or local authority, guys. It's the same. And we should just avoid, I don't know, we are the number ones to complain about certain services that are not being implemented or done. But look at the working culture. But apalimpia, ngabale umfuat kulimpio. Now that the cadres have been stopped from collecting amatuma levies, market, the very monies that these guys now are collecting, now everyone wants to go there and start collecting. It's like Zambia police, those who are working with traffic, everyone wants to go to traffic. It's like government, everyone wants to go to DMMU, wants to work there because ekulinda lama. They want to go and start making, this culture. I don't know what this MMD and PF did to our mindsets. We have changed completely. The I don't care type attitude. Na itwikata sana Mzambia. That nga niva boma. That's why you find teachers can leave their classrooms to go and drink and ukute solo. People will leave their offices to go and do something, their own businesses. They are government officers. They go report to work so there's this I don't care type. Hence, the delivery of services is so poor. And that's why they go and start levying people who are not even in a category of being levied. They want to levy everyone. Palast mu comfort because mwaliopa mfile mwalipirako. So we don't want that. Go, let's see the results. Bombeni ba local authority, Bombeni, tumone nchito. And mule tupera nama updates. Tuishive mpia mwachita collect every month or quarterly or yearly. Mwachita report to the public to know, so that people know how much money you're collecting and what you have used the money for. Not going trouble people on the street. Owotamupere nama institution, ama places ukwa kubombela. That's what I can say for now. Otherwise, it's a sad development.
Well, Mkelebai, thank you so much. We do appreciate, and our viewers out there, just in case you'd like to join us and react to any of the stories that we are bringing right here on My Point of View, you are actually welcome to do that by clicking on the link that has been shared in the comment section. And just to make cognizance, we do have people that are following through Facebook there, Chibonta Jule, CJ, we do appreciate that, you are there following, not forgetting our very own also Lance Sani Banda, who's actually, watching from Lusaka. And he has opted to follow just, because connectivity has been a problem. And we do appreciate that he's still with us on the other side, including all other people that are following from there. Just, drop us a comment so that we can make cognizance that you are with us here. Tell us where you are following from in case you want to join on set and react to any of the stories. You are welcome to do that by clicking on the link that has been shared. For now, we get to the next story, and on the other side, we invite Mr. Mkelebai to be the first one just after the video to react to the next story. Let's proceed.
Thank you, Chaza. Now it's I know that was a happy moment for the students, and you can tell someone who is not happy cannot welcome you in that manner. Those are youths, are students that were trying to show that they are so proud and happy for the government, for the current government, for what they have done, to what they have done to them, by one, reinstating their meal allowances and giving them those bursary, whatever you call them. They are now students. They can feel they are enjoying the dividends, and they do not. Students are not going to buy the propaganda that is being spread around, falsehood, false information, hate speech, because that proves the propagandist otherwise. To say, look, whatever you've been telling people, going on the social media every day, telling people this president has failed, this president has lied, this president, we are now in trouble, he's a dictator, he's a what? No. The students there, and those students have parents, and those parents, their parents must be the happiest parents so far, because the parents have been, Navafunya, the burden has been lifted off. The parents are able to save a little bit of money to be able to buy ubunga, so that they can also maybe even have money to spare to go for a holiday. Mukutandala bululu. Not all the time spending money kuma student kuba naba school. But now that there's one from the primary to secondary, the parents have been exonerated from these responsibilities of school fees. The government has chosen to take over, to say, let me relieve, let us help you, the Zambian people. That, my brothers and sisters, is the gift that we have gotten. The only person that had brought free education in Zambia, where our own parents, including the president of Zambia, benefited, was Bakaunda. So why not? Why can't we reciprocate? So what you saw there with those students, that was happiness. That was just trying to say thank you. Thank you for the wonderful job that you are doing. We thank God we have a leader finally that pays attention to the cry of students and pupils in the world, in the country. So to me, the opposition, they are going to trash even that. They've already started negating what the Copperbelt University students did on that particular day. They are already tarnishing the image of the president. But umuntu utemenwe kumutima, no matter what messages, no matter how insultive you may be, you can't change, because they are happy and they are certain. And I'm telling you, baliabalela ndati HH Copperbelt mulabeko. You should think twice, because it's not just Copperbelt. Go to Northern Province, go to Luapula. You'll be surprised how much people are appreciating the effort that this government, the 16-month-old baby government, has done so far. We are in safe hands. That's what I can only say. Not that drama we experienced for 7 years. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And that video we are from seeing is somewhat a challenge to the rumor that has been going around on social media, that President HH was booed on the Copperbelt. We're looking around, trying to find any video or any bite to see that indeed he was booed. I've taken a look at about 3 videos where, the president was welcomed on the Copper Belt, and particularly, by the Copper Belt University students, and the one where he was addressing. And just like Womkeleba indicated, when someone is happy, you cannot shut their mouth, and it was demonstrated throughout, the president's visit there on the Copper Belt. Himba, your reaction to that video? I wish we could, take a look at the 2 others, but, even this one we are from viewing is attesting, to that. Himba, your reaction?
Thank you so much, Chaza. And I would also concur with you. I think I would have been very grateful if our director would have put even the other one from University of Zambia, where the students were saying, Zangena, Zangena, I'd have loved to see that. However, what we have is already enough for us to comment on, to air our views. Personally, before I go any further, allow me to say thank you to the President of Zambia, Hakainde Hichilema, and his administration. To Atasha Tata, Chaza in Tonga, we say Gatwamba netuyowa. Even if we are scared, let's say, Vintu fimotulelanda olutulatina likentulambe.
You said, just repeat the Tonga saying?
Gatwamba netuyowa.
Okay, I think I need, time to learn it.
I'm here to teach you.
Okay.
After watching my young brothers and sisters, my children shouting Zangena, Zangena, sing the way they were saying Bali, Bali on the Copper Belt. Believe me. The first question that came into my mind was like, the previous government had removed this food allowance from the students. My question is, where was this money going? So this is how we can understand how the previous. Thank you, Womkeleba. Now it comes to an ordinary Zambian. So if the current president is able to give back the students what belongs to them, why was the previous government why did the previous government remove it, and where did they take the money? For me, my answer was the same way Womkeleba has said. If I'm going to pay for my child's fees, even my girlfriend, I'm going to give us, somebody comes on social media and say, oh, that nonsense, So I'm talking to an ordinary Zambian there, that this is how our money was being taken into people's pockets without considering our children, how they were suffering, without considering our brothers and sisters at CBU. Bafumya ama-subsidies konse, at least nombolo twaisayipusha balati nga ama-subsidies bali mwafumya mwatwala kwisa alemye bafyati munenisho teshiri abana balela ndati Zangena muganza zichoka kuti. And this is why we are seeing the opposition are so bitter, because all the loopholes they were getting money from, they've been closed. Impia shabwelela kubene, na shibwelela kuma students abene. And we can I also again say thank you, Bali? You've saved a girl child. So these are some of the reasons that we are making girl children ukula for ama sugar daddies. Ukti basange koka miwa allowance, basange kwesha ama buku. Basa, it made a lot of girls to be vulnerable, because they wanted to meet a standard. By reinstating the meal allowance in this higher institution of learning, the government is also putting a level, the playing field to be leveled for everyone. At least ala kwanisha okushita obunga, ala kwanisha okushita efyakulya. At least kwanisha Brazilian here, umwaichi ala kwanisha okushita kwa mabuku. So it's up to her now. What is a priority? So we will not blame the government at all. And our opposition, mukose, if it will not work. And just friendly advice, the kind of people we have now, this is 21st century, and it's also called a computer age. What am I trying to say? This generation we are dealing with, the generation yakali, this is a very civilized generation, well-informed generation. When you lie, they will go and dig more. That's why even the narrative of tribalism, now if you penetrate, the narrative of trying to divide, if you see the majority people who are against, or the majority population, the population which has the majority people who is fighting against tribalism are young people, because they're not buying to this nonsense. And these young people are from University of Zambia, CBU, NIPA, Evelyn Horn College. So our opposition, Tet Mubabepe, can you just go back to the drawing board, bring your manifesto, mubike kwa amanu, ero mleshtana mari brand, mubike aba amanu, aba kwa tewamiafwe to do the proper rebranding, so that when you talk to the Zambian people who sit and listen to you, not if mulanda bali mubuinga. Right now we are challenging them. They are saying bali mubuinga. Tuletereni video, takuli, ero kuli technology number. If you say he slapped me, people want evidence-based story. If you say they were kicked, so you're just wasting your time. You're wasting money paying these social media people to do character assassination, to do the slander to the government. You're just wasting your time. Just go back, do the proper rebranding, have the right people who can think critically and who can bring good thoughts to the table to resolve the Zambian challenges we are having as a nation. Otherwise, I submit.
All right, thank you, Himba. And we invite you to be, the first one to react to the next story that we are going to take a look at. All right, Director, take us to the next story. Remember, this is Ubuntu channel, my point of view. See you on the other side.
Anchoring contentious issues, Vice President Mutana Almango was once again on the floor to respond to members of Parliament during the Vice President's question time in the National Assembly. The legal basis for the transfer of some officials from the Auditor General's office embroiled in financial irregularities was the lead question that Mrs. Nalmango answered. The question was raised by leader of the opposition, Brian Mundubile.
The Chief Justice of Kenya once said, "The greatness of nations lies in its fidelity to the Constitution."
Vice President provided the justification.
So this government is working within the procedures of government, that if there is an issue, you put people aside, they work from other offices, so that there is no interference in the evidence, Madam Speaker.
Among other questions, Rundas parliamentarian Brenda Nyirenda bemoaned lack of electricity in her constituency, alleging that the situation is hampering hospitals' operations.
There are children in the hospital who are born prematurely. They are dying.
In response, Mrs. Nalbango warned those that have the propensity to alarm the nation on death statistics from any suspected causes without proof.
Because we like to talk about people dying. We are not going to continuously debate Chama, Lundazi, and power. We spent a lot of time, colleagues, you remember, throughout this week, with the minister responding to how the situation of power is being handled in that area.
As for current Member of Parliament, Chrysosta Harindi, a query was on whether government intends to establish milling plants under the Zambia National Services and Zambia Correctional Services.
Does our government, the New Dawn government, have any plans to capacitate Zambia National Service, Zambia Correctional Service, by procuring more milling plants?
The Vice President said government has no intentions to knock out private millers, but admonished the proprietors not to prioritize supernormal profits at the expense of making milling meal available to Zambians.
I'll start by saying this government believes in the private sector as the engine of our development.
The Vice President's question time is enforced by Standing Order number 80 of the National Assembly. Hanok Kasama, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
Thank you so much, Chaza. And there are two main stories in that where the vice president was responding. So which one are we reacting to? Kuliyama abana okufa, kuliya miti. So which one? Okay. Chaza has been dropped up. I think there's some technical problems somewhere. I'm going to react about where they're asking whether the government is getting rid of the private sector. I think for me, for the parliamentarian to be asking such a question, where have you ever seen a government that will run without a private sector? Nikwisa. Chaza, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Balitonaula Mwandini, balitonaula. Mzambia balitonaula vya politicians yao. Wasting taxpayers' money, okay, if you.
I'm telling you, how do the whole member of parliament go and ask those such questions? No, they're trying to get rid of the private sector. Even when we had the one-party state during the Kaunda, private sector. How could you get rid of them? And now when we are even in the developing period when things are happening worldwide. So it's not even making sense, Chaza, to react to that over a private sector. Secondly, over the debts. If we talk about Ukufwa, sometimes people would say, actually, may I salute the vice president? Because when they ask questions, she's very calm, she's very organized, she's very polite. No matter how useless a question will come from the member of parliament, she'll know how to handle it. Because if I were me, vice president, because even before, I'm telling you, because even before the UPND came into power, and when running a country, I'm sure these members of parliament, they've been in parliament before. This is not their first. The majority of them, they've been area member of parliament. Some they've been ministers. Some they've been in different portfolio, which they've served our country. They know how a country is being managed. And there's no way a party who can answer all the challenges of the citizen within 1 year, 6 months. PF valikala 10 years na nomba ayama challenges yonsalera nishtavaya puishishe that when UPND came it would have been just heaven on earth. 10 years puishishe, but they are expecting UPND within 1 year, 6 months to finish, to handle all the corners of the country, all the challenges of the citizen. It doesn't work like that. Even Mumayanda, PF, they were our God. They provided everything for the Zambian people. Because even Aliama killings, that is a benefit for the Zambian people. They praised themselves like that. Even at house level, we still had challenges. People still died. There are a lot of things. So all I'm going to say, these parliamentarians, when we send you to parliament, we don't want you to be comedians. We want you to be leaders who are going to bring issues, who are going to speak on behalf of the Zambian people. Answers, which some they even failed to solve them when they were in government themselves, because they understand the government system, how it operates. They should be upright and they should speak for us. They should speak for us, the Zambian people who sent them to parliament. Not to pangama comments. I submit, Chaz.
All right, Himba, thank you so much. We do appreciate for your reaction there, Mr. Mukelebai.
On the issue of suspension and the opposition wanting to maintain people who are either facing a disciplinary charge or on suspension to be left in office. For what we used to see in the PF, where a minister is being investigated and still goes kunchto, still goes for work, reporting to work, and comes back and intimidating and in the government vehicle with a flag on, and continue performing their duties, and then the junior officers, they come and interview, or rather trying to get asking questions to find out if they could investigate his office. Imagine what kind of nonsense is that? And they want the same thing to happen now in the new dawn. I don't think the opposition, especially Mundubire, I expected him to really think objectively. Being a lawyer, you know what that means. You know what it means tampering with evidence. If you are facing a disciplinary charge, you can actually be relieved, put on forced leave to pave way for investigations so that the people investigating are not interfered with, they are independent, and you also you are not being treated unfairly. But you want the people that were suspended to be reporting for work, even tampering with evidence. So we know that they were trying to refer to those individuals that were suspended in the Auditor General's office. So we know and the conspiracy which is there, because some of their friends, who were trying to tamper with evidence or tamper or manipulate the investigations or the reports, they have been cornered. And Lelo, the people that were pushing or those who invested in those chaps are now crying foul because they know that the game is over. They will be cornered soon too. So that's why Mule Mona, they are busy crying, and you even bring such issues in parliament. Anyway, but I'm proud with the vice president. When you have laws, you have rules, you follow what is written. The government cannot just operate on abracadabra filatwale mona mu previous. The government operates anything, any decision the government takes has to be followed by, it is the law. They follow the law. They cannot make decisions just using their head. Where it is not even written anywhere. So with this current government, is the government that is following the law. Like the previous government, was a government of laws. And this government is a government that respects the rule of law. And that is bordering any decision they make has to conform with the laws that we gave ourselves. So, but when we see politicians,
if they need those people who are being investigated, PF, they are not accepting that their time is gone, and they needed those people, and they were so useful to them. So Baba said never stay employed secretariat because they are still useful.
Exactly. Let them take them. Yes, but the thing is, if somebody is suspended, and we have the rules of the rule of law, and when the law says you have to be suspended, or you have to be on half leave, half pay, or without pay, it's the prerogative of the government by following what is written, not from their own dreams. So if you're mulela ndaba opposition, tafiri leta na tafiri twala tafiri panga sense. So, and you'll be the first people that will be crying foul that the laws, this government is not following the rule of law, or they're following the law when they start doing the opposite. So allow this government to perform, to do what is right, what they deem fit. Not if you mweka imagine if into mweka mumitwe how to run the government. Moreover, this is what I always say.
We don't even send them to parliament to go and advocate for people's jobs. No, that's not what we send them to parliament. No.
Yeah, but we don't
parliament. No.
They should go and complain to Labor office, or let them go to court if they felt that the government has acted outrageous. Let them take the matter to the court, and the court will decide. So if you have to mambo kushita dispute, Moreover, this is what I always tell you, my opposition over PF, especially the people from the Patriotic Front. You were given an opportunity for 10 years. Maybe we remove Sat. For 7 years, you were given this opportunity to show your competence. You're competent. But look at what you did. Within 7 years or 10 years, inverted commas, moneno for Mwatushila. You acted so, your performance was below par. You failed. Mwali senda mama FFFFF. Mwali feluka. Lelo. Mwise. Mube ba number one. Mwakweta mana mukuchita advice. Abalesha. The new brooms. When you are the failures. Awe. You can't do that. We cannot get advice from incompetent. We can only get advice from people like Venesande Chanda who are doing well. Kuchira no marriage in their constituents. Because he's leading by example, we can see what he is doing. Not you are rich, you are rich. Look at what you are doing to your people. Not even a toilet in your constituents.
Actually, did you hear when he was addressing the party members where he was even recognizing at Yama Commandos, wherever Itama Commandos, just a few days ago, he was doing that, recognizing them. There's a video where he was saying, thank you, Klima Commandos, Honorable Munduri. I was like, what? So he still appreciates these people, the job they did.
Yeah, for killing people, for beating people.
And he just have in a opposition. Can't give another, they don't understand what they mean to be voted out of power. Maybe we use big words. You tell them that being voted out, it simply means you are fired. That's being fired. We fired them.
No, we terminated without notice because they thought they will give power. They will come and give power to themselves. That's what they were purporting, and arrest, because they are known for their frivolous charges, and they are known for coming up with Trump up charges. They were aiming to come and arrest the current incumbent. But look what has happened. So if you're Valela Parliament, we observe you guys, we see you. When you bring well-based issues, we do understand and appreciate, because this government really need an opposition that is going to put UPND on their toes. Just like what Malema is doing in South Africa, putting the ANC on their toes. But what we see in our country today, we have jokers of opposition.
All right, Mr. Keleva, I'll cut you short. From there, I know you have a lot of advice to the members of Parliament out there. We do appreciate. Let's progress to the next story, and I'll say two stories that are going to be concurrent, and they are bordering on the same institution. As a result, we are going to actually have them concurrent. Then on the other side, we get to wrap up right here. Let's have those two stories, and Himba, you'll be the first one to make reaction to them.
The boy, whose identity has been withheld, is currently admitted at Lusaka's Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital, where he's receiving treatment. An hospital public relations officer has told NBC News that the boy is stable but traumatized.
The child is currently admitted here and is receiving the necessary medical attention. He's also quite stable. He has some wounds, of course, and fractures, but we'll be able to give further information after the doctors continue to review this case.
Meanwhile, Mutandero at 30 councillor Boniface Chibeka has sympathized with the family.
I can tell that the boy is in shock, in pain, and traumatized with what happened. And I do sympathize with the young boy and his family to this misfortune.
The civic leader has since called for quick intervention by the Lusaka City Council Public Health Department.
I'm also appealing to Lusaka City Council to enforce the laws, because just barely a week or two again there was a stray dog which also resulted in the loss of life to a child in Mtendere. So to the owners of whether the dog has papers or not, secure the dogs.
By broadcast time, the parents to the victim could not give a comment. The 11-year-old boy was attacked and bitten by 2 dogs on Benimwinga Road in Lusaka's PHI area. The incident happened around 15 hours on Saturday 11th, 2023. Fortune Malata, ZNBC News, Lusaka.
Remember to hit the like button.
She washes her fish in visibly dirty water, which she has picked from the dump site. Another woman is seen scavenging for plastics and concerned about the environment around her. This is at the Chunga dump site in Lusaka, where the situation has worsened. Waste management companies have continued dumping garbage along the road, closing it off amid the rains. The waste is now being washed into residential areas. But when contacted for an interview, the company charged with managing the landfill, the Lusaka Integrated Solid Waste Management Company, refused to comment over the matter. Meanwhile, in Matero and Kanyama communities, indiscriminate disposal of waste is becoming rampant. These men are caught on camera dumping garbage in undesignated places in broad daylight.
People have been dumping waste here illegally. The waste is being washed into our homes, and this can cause a disease outbreak.
The worry of residents is that if the situation at the dump site does not improve, the ripple effects will be seen in communities where illegal disposal of waste may become another problem. Kasabula Muchimba, ZNBC News in Lusaka.
Thank you so much, Chaza, for giving me this opportunity to go first on these 2 stories. Before I go any further, bamea na mumfwa ukuchile mpia shida mule ya mulepoka ku bantu iyo nchitola ndeni po na isa. Actually, all the 2 stories, they fall under your office. The issue of garbage collection, which I'm going to start with, it's completely under the local authorities. We've talked about it. So, Mayor, one, you have to come up with sensitization programs to sensitize the community that they are not supposed to throw things anyhow, especially the garbage. Problem in all the towns, actually, I'm a township. Mukasanga kwa bafika place opo baya balayeposa. Bamono bushiku, they go at night. So the local authorities, it's high time you have to come in full force, sensitizing people and enforce the law that ingatwamisanga muleposa opo tatuasuminisha mukakakwa o mukalipira. The other thing, probably, like it's just that in this situation, these are 2 cases here. Kuliama residents, then Kulinaya company, which is the company which is going to dump things there. This company should be fined. If anything, they should also be punished to collect everything they've dumped there and take them to designated places. That's what I would propose. But like for citizen, I would also propose that the local authorities, but building eco like they agree, they select a place, you know, because we don't have really companies that collect garbage. So what they can do probably by building bin by building mumbali building then they leave it. Then let the city, the residents of that area posa then chimotoka cha council once in a week cha senda posa pamo on one place. They just have that, and they offer number. Like if you go to Yamu or the great mukasanga mwali bama padi mwali befish, you go pachirenje market pale na pena niso tambe, you go mudia pale mudia mayanda mudia niso tambe. So if they could just maybe pick one place like a pepina nemanda, they build something and they say mwema community polong babi pia ale collector pepene ngani 5 kwacha ngani 1 kwacha ngawaposa abantu bale posa, because now it's even difficult to punish the residents when you've not provided where they should take where they can dump them, and then you can take them to book or hold them responsible. Then coming to the issue Yambwe, it's really sad, and I stand with the family of the 11-odd boy who was attacked by dogs. In our community, they are so careless, very careless, and the way they look after these dogs as if there's no police. Apparently, me, when I witnessed the situation where a little girl, the lady opened the gates and left the gates, the guardian boy should come and close the gates. But guardian boy tabalaisa imbwa yafuma ofo ya pepeke omwaiche. It took me to bring the child into the yard and close the gates. And then what offended me was not actually the dog attacking the girl. What offended me was actually the reaction to the owner of the dog. She had no remorse at all. Apparently, after I noticed that, I was forced to check, what does the government say? Actually, the government has laws that govern ababasongembwa. Balela ndati imbwa ngataule kwanisha okuilisha. We can't feed a dog. You're not supposed to keep a dog. If a dog kaya mayanda mwabene, you're not supposed to kula sungembwa ya kula ya mayanda yabene. Because wala mayanda yabene, tabarefwa embwa. You lie, you want to keep a dog, but some they don't like petties. Some they're even allergic to these petties, you know. So literally, the government has put policies to govern these people who look after these petties. But what we have, Niwa mayor, Nama councillors who've not done their job to make sure that the citizens are protected. Abaiche, they're attacked. You know, I've seen some people on social media, they provoke these dogs. Honestly speaking, you know, a child, the thinking of the child, are they even able to assess the risk and the dangers towards that dog? You're even saying mwaiche. So even their thinking is not up to date to assess the risk, the dangers. That's why they are protected by the government. They should be protected by the government. But mayor, tend to mimona amakapo, stand protect abana. But ama councillors, we cry on your tables to come and find solutions to protect the Avenibamba. They are so careless. Eloimbwesha and Sala, Shimoshilendesha Marebis all over. Ingawaka Monaka Wakalifani and Sala. I even say you are failing to feed your own children. You are struggling to feed your own children. How are you going to look after that dog? Because it needs to be looked after properly as well. And even these dog owners, they should also be charged for negligence towards those dogs they keep. I rest my case.
All right, thank you, Himba. And before I invite you, Mr. Mkelevai, let me just, read one or two comments that we do have in the comment section. Not forgetting the earlier ones that we had from Chibonta Jule, CJ, saying he's watching or following there. And not only that, he has, sent another comment that I'm yet to read. Lance also from Lusaka. Thank you so much. We do appreciate. And not forgetting Percy from London, United Kingdom. And Chibonta Jule is actually saying there were staff transfers in the Auditor General's office and PF MPs felt that government was interfering with the AG's office. However, I think VIP answered well. Those suspected of malpractice are transferred or suspended so that investigations are not disturbed. Thank you so much for your contribution, your comment there. We do appreciate CJ there. And now, allow me to invite you, Mr. Mukelebai, to react to those two stories.
Well, thank you so much, Chaza. That's why I will start with the dumping of garbage by the residents and the so-called entrepreneurs who are dealing in garbage collections. That is very sad development. And that's why I want really to thank this current government for introducing free education. I just hope that we're gonna get good dividends in the future when society is educated. I think you will find that people start taking certain issues seriously and responsibly, become so responsible. And people look after themselves because they know the dangers of not looking after themselves or surroundings. Hygiene plays a very pivotal role in human lives. If we are not taking care of our own surroundings, we are prone to be infected with these avoidable diseases. Cholera is one of them, dysentery, rabies, scabies, all kind of diseases. But when you look at the situation today, you will find that ignorance is it's taking its own pivot role in people's way of living. They have given up. Some they don't know the dangers. Some they know, but they choose to ignore, including the authorities, especially the local authorities. We still come back to the local authorities because charity starts at home. If we are failing to take care of ourselves, inganda na ilamba, we panse na palamba, opo lala fest na palamba, and you expect to find your surrounding or the area where you come from to be clean. No. So that's why they even say, umuntu aba smart bamwishibira kumikalile. Now fuala wino smart, nga uli munganda ule petefya kufuala wino you make your house looks clean and neat. But inga umano yo wete haba wino. Netawasa mbirira. That's why musanga ati bambi bali amukusanfye isavi. Ukusanfye isavi. Mumenshi ayali contaminated and umaya shene sabishiria kubantu bambi. Who does that? Who does that honestly in today's? Then you can tell that there's something wrong here. It's the society. When society is not educated enough, I promise you development is delayed, is difficult. No matter how we may sing development, mutule, latent development, takuli, we are wasting our time. That's why Abasungu, they took advantage of us. Baisa mukutupoka ama lands yesu batupela na mashina because we're not up to date. Our forefathers, they were not there. So even when we have decided to apoko mtungwa, let's see the development in our country. Tapali file chitika. Education. That you have to go to university. Iyo. Sambiri sheni abantu. Mwaingirama communities, educate the people. Ni free education. Na imumweba kalamba. Education ni teyaba ichefie. Nga walipo na grade 9, nga walipo na grade 7, kaviye kuti wabwera ku school, all night school. Wayasambirira kofie. Just how to take care of yourself surrounding. It is important because navana, they are going to inherit ifiko fyobe. They are going to inherit ifiko. because you brought them in that environment. So fwemere kala chalo tufuire twabako twachenjera nga twalitemwa. If we really love ourselves, look at our surrounding. Let's take good care of ourselves. But if we are not, we cannot just look to the bomber. Lyonse bomber. Bomber tabakwete mpia. Bali ive mpia ba PF. Where are they going to find money to come and clean your bedroom or your surrounding? You want ba council base mukumipyangira munganda zona na mwikala na imwe. That's why you see FICO everywhere. Coming to the dog issue. The owner of that child who is a victim, I would simply advise that let's hope the kid gets stabilized. Take the matter to court. That is how you can only teach certain individuals a lesson. And the court, I believe they are going to make sure they are going to award for the pain and suffering, the injury, punitive damages, kumwana wenu, for what he went through. Umwine wambwa afuire akwata ways of securing imbwa shakwe nga alishwa no kushwati imbwa shakwe shirasuma abantu. You should not unleash them. You should find a way to secure the dogs. Weekend imbwa shenu kuma chain or mukage if they are so vicious. And also vaccinate your dogs. The local authorities, through the health inspector, whatever they do, they used to have this law where they go around and ask for the certificate. Ngabasanga titamukwete certificate imbwa titachikwete amapepa. Duliaka lefo twalishwe bale ipaya ba council. Ba police ba council, they go and exterminate those dogs because they were trying to prevent diseases such as rabies. So pali yo issue shalande sana fingi, I would just say, please take those people to court, sue them, so that they learn a lesson. Because pakulanda fwema Zambian, we can talk, but when there's no action, the pali nefeka chitika. So take them to court, sue, and ask for a huge amount, so that they learn a lesson. That's what I can say for now. But otherwise, the local authority, please, let's get and help our citizens. Our citizenry, mostly Mma compound, they are less educated. Others, due to poverty, they have given up their lives. They don't care about these small little things. Bring Amma private sector so they can come and recycle some of these garbages. Mwachitako burn some of these garbages instead of just piling them. Mukavulo kwa kuikala. Because garbages, they will continue growing if we don't prevent and get rid of them permanently. Natote.
All right, Womukelewai, thank you so much. We do appreciate, and from your givings there, I could take that, you are submitting that we need to be clean. And I do agree with you. We need to be clean physically, politically, and socially. Remember, this is, Ubuntu channel, my point of view. It's been a great time. Himba, thank you so much. Mr. Mukelewai, thank you so much. We do appreciate. Time is ahead of us. And, do catch us even next time right here. And as we are going, we'll actually get to leave you with one story to which we are not going to react. It's a story that is about, a headmaster or a head teacher together with a teacher that are always on a drinking spree. And this time around, they've been found.
But 1 minute.
Himba, I wish I could give you that time,
No, but, you can give Himba, I think, in an Inda and the powerful.
So Himba, since you know the story, give us your reaction before we even see the story. The story will be our closure.
I'll just make recommendations. One, those teachers should be fired. Two, because why do I say so? because those teachers are role models in our community, you know, and there's no headmaster school at last month. So who's managing the affairs of the school, honestly? Fish, and you know, these people, they've seen their boss has come, and then the boss is saying, what are you doing here? And I said, actually, we know could be one. Therefore, I'm transfer. Anyway, it sounds as if it's a comment, but I mean, this is very sad. And then we want Zambia to develop. How do we develop with such mindset? If the school performs badly, how do you expect the school to score very good marks with such teachers around? Because the head teacher is an administrator. The person who is supposed to manage the affairs of the children. So what happens to the children? You know, so literally, this is sad, and may the depths deal with those teachers in the way they are supposed to be dealt with. The government, Ministry of Education, come in, please. Can we have sanity in these schools? That's why abuse kuma teachers, the administrators, you can't know. So this
even
is
after Wahimba, even after 10.5% increment. They still have this I don't care type.
Can get 10 points. And in the rurals, I think they also have hardship. So that but that 10.5 a surplus, you know. So literally, this is a sad situation. We trust our children with these teachers. We trust our community trust. You know, they're actually risking the whole community. There are children who can be doctors. There are children who can go far away and contribute to the positive growth of our nation. But with lack of knowledge, with lack of teachers, how are these children going to contribute to our nation? I submit. I submit, Chaz. I would have gone.
All right. Himba, thank you so much. I feel your pain. And just like you indicated, you know, it's a very serious story, but presented in a comic way because of the status in which, you know, these teachers were found in a drunken state, you know. So the poster itself, you know, was seemingly, you know, funny. When you look at them, yeah, the first thing you'd laugh. And at the same time, you are pained by the actions of, you know, these teachers.
Yeah.
It's been a great time. Yes, Himba. Just imagine, after being reprimanded, then he says, you've actually done well to come. I need a transfer. I'll come to your office. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great time.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
No, I was just saying disciplinary action needs to be taken to against those guys. They erred big time.
Oh yes,
and
indeed.
Thank God to technology. Please let us take our pictures and videos for such people who are doing nothing, just eating government money. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Our viewers out there, we do appreciate you've been there following all this time. And, you know, stories have been overwhelming because we've got so much more happening. And if it weren't for time, we could have even given you, you know, a lot more stories right here. But time is not our best ally. And IT has even failed to play, you know, the teacher's, you know, story there. But all the same, we've talked about it. Thank you so much. Till next time. This has been My Point of View. And my name is Chaza. God bless you all.